All right. Welcome back. Welcome in. You found us once again. Shoot the Gap, the fantasy football focus show, Spanish to the generation gap of the 20s, 30s, and 40s. I am your humble MC, Brian Amigo Baldwin. And you can hear by the music. Just a just an Amigo show. Yeah. Just an Amigo show today. Yeah, no Doc, no Gut. It's Christmas, so I guess everything is scaled down. So yeah, so it's just going to be me, all me, this whole time. So hopefully, you guys can last, a lot, longer than my wife can. Whenever it's just me talking. So let's see how we go. All right, so. This is our 44th show, December 26th, this foul year of our Lord. And, of course, it's, the day after Christmas. So I hope you guys had a fantastic Christmas. And it's the Obama show, the number 44. I know some of you guys would hate that, but yeah, I couldn't pass that up. Well, I probably could, but I decided not to. All right, so before we go any further, I want to go ahead and thank the supporters of the show. Of course, start off with my main man here, Anthony. Anthony Frazier, man. Oh my gosh, dude, he has put together a radio station that is phenomenal. It's a local radio station. It's the pride of Sunnyside. It's called High Volume Music Radio. You can find shows like the Andrew B. Vocal Sounds, the Business Knowledge Broker Show, the Soul Brothers Show, What's on Your Mind with Ann Boogie, and Blame It on the Boogie, and of course, Shoot the Gap, all on one app. So make sure to check that out. Our other supporter, of course, is Sports Hosts, a wonderful app that you can get together. It's a community app where you can go ahead and talk sports to different people. And it's not just football, it's baseball, basketball, or cricket was on there, so you can discuss all type of things. Probably even talk about, your bad beats that you might have had. You'll actually have people that will listen to you and really know what it feels like, because you can't really talk fantasy football with other people other than the ones that are in it, and of course, guys, as you're watching, if you're entertained by one generational beefhead bantering about, you're right down at this time. Please hit the like and subscribe button. We'll feel the love, and you'll get every episode to help you out through the draft. And you remember, dude, this is going to be a for the draft next year, and of course, because this is the last game of the season, so, but because it's the last game of the season doesn't mean it's the last show for Shoot the Gap. We have committed ourselves to be a yearly show, so it'll be once a week though instead of twice a week. So we'll be able to talk football, talk all types of things, but there's always something going on. I guarantee you. But one thing I can also guarantee is you'll always be entertained. All right, so back to the 44th show. Okay, this is the Shoot or Cease Gap, or Ceasefire, excuse me, Shoot or Ceasefire for week 16, which, again, it's the last one of the season, man. But before we take off on that, I'd like to go ahead and talk about the blasts and the blanks from Christmas. Ethan, poor guy, I guess maybe this might be one of the reasons why he isn't here, but he's going against Alvin Kamara, the guy who broke the touchdown record, got 6 touchdowns in one game. So if you're going against them, I'm so sorry, man. But it's still not over. Still not over. They got to play the games. You might have one person that might explode. You don't know. So just don't give up. Don't stop believing. Type of thing. But blast Alvin Kamara, Irv Smith, man, he came to play. He did all right. He was. I know he didn't have a very good game last game, but this game he sure did. So he came to play, had a Merry Christmas. Adam Thielen had a Merry Christmas, and I think Kirk Cousins, he did all right. Now the ones that were blanks were Breeze, Drew Brees, and of course if Connor was here, this is where I would find some creative way to make him say Voldemort, because Taysom Hill is part of the reason why Drew Brees didn't do so well, is because they're sharing the load. It's not a good situation, so so that's a blank. Sanders, you're hoping more from Emmanuel Sanders. From Jared Cook, poor guy. He did break a record though. I think he got like his 500th catch or something like that. 501st catch of the of his career. So that was cool on Christmas for him. Justin Jefferson, you were expecting more from him. He did an average game. So I'm putting him as a blank because you're hoping for a lot more. But they respected him. New Orleans did. They treated him as a wide receiver one, and so because of that, they put the best guy cover cornerback on him, and that's why Thielen did so well. Dalvin Cook did all right for a wide receiver two, but not for Dalvin Cook. So you're expecting more, especially whenever he wasn't, like you're used to him being the best running back in whatever game he's playing, no matter what. Kamara outshined him, so you feel like a little bit of the burn. It's on, the last game of the season, whatever, dude. But I think he did all right. If you played him, he didn't hurt you. He's not going to win a game, but he's not going to hurt you. Both defenses. Oh my gosh, man! I was in a situation where I have Pittsburgh's defense, and I'm like, I'm a little nervy, They haven't been doing too well. This championship game. I want to make sure I do my best, put my best foot out there. So I was looking on the waiver wire. Just so happened New Orleans was there. I didn't go. I didn't go for it, and it wasn't because of like some kind of cool, superior, statistics that I looked into, or something I found, or or a feeling I had, or anything. It literally was I just did not want to play anybody on Christmas because I wanted to enjoy the day. That's just basically what it was. I was like, I don't want to be like, oh, I hope these guys go do during Christmas. I just want to sit back and relax and enjoy the day. So that's why I did it. Whatever the reason why. It worked out because they only got 1 point in our league, so that's not a good thing, So I'm rolling with Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh it has to do better than 1 point. So with that in mind, I think I might have made at least hopefully if anything, it's a lateral move. So at least Pittsburgh will do one or more. But anyway, New Orleans didn't do too well. Same thing with Minnesota. And of course, I have to say this. I have to. I don't have to, but I want to. And one of the biggest blasts from yesterday, Christmas, of course, is Jesus. It's his birthday, so that's always the biggest blast there. So, all right, so. We're going to go ahead and move from that. So we already covered the Christmas and Saturday games on last episode. And in fact, right now it's noon that I'm recording this. And so there's an actual game going on right now. And so I won't know the repercussions of it, but we'll talk about that game and all the other games on our next episode whenever we do the Blaster Blanks from the last week. So make sure hit the like and subscribe button so you guys go and get that. So we'll go and tell you how all that went, and we can either celebrate together or cry together. We'll see what happens. We'll see what the Lord says. Hopefully it's celebrate. We'll see. All right, and but this episode we'll be doing the shoot or cease fire for Sunday and Monday, week 16. I say we, yeah, but no, it's just me. Yeah, just me. I'm gonna go and do it. So it's gonna be my feelings, my opinions. Hopefully it'll help you guys win a championship. Or if you're doing those things where you're, which rightly so is that if you still have a game to play, you should still be making moves, no matter if it's for the championship or not. If you still have a game to play, there's still, it just makes you sharper, makes you a better player. You're used to making moves, paying attention, seeing who's blowing up at the end of the season, who's not. So you get to see who's going down towards the end of the season. Just see what like Derrick Henry. This is how people figure out about Derrick Henry. That he ramps up during the season. There's other guys that are starting to go down. So just keep an eye out. And of course, if there's any injuries to people, you can see what their backups do and see if they're worth keeping. It's all types of information that's here. So you should not stop playing. If you're still, you should be watching anyway. But if you still have a game to play, I hope you're playing it, and I hope this shoot or ceasefire will help you. Now, I don't have Connor, so you're not going to hear my the booming, beginning, whatever, So I'm not even going to try. I'm just gonna stay right here. Yeah, and so all right. So first game is Atlanta versus Kansas City. Now, this game I'm pretty excited about. I have some vested interest in it, but also this is a theory that I'm going with, and I'm applying it to this game and then also another game. But I'll go and talk about it here, which is dome teams going to cold atmospheres. Okay, so we have Atlanta, who's a dome team, going to Kansas City, who's it's a well, you know what kind of atmosphere it is. It is a cold atmosphere. So I'm not sure if they're gonna do real well. I also think that well, you'll see. Let's go and start with Kansas City. Kansas City, we'll go ahead and we'll shoot on Mahomes, Hill, Kelsey, Bell, Butker, and the defense. Now, again, I think that those other guys are ones you're not going to sit because at this point in the championship, you go with whoever has got you there. That's what you do. You try to avoid the sin of going after like the hot ticket. The one that's like came out of nowhere to blow up and it's gonna come and save you, whatever. You try to avoid that stuff. So. Mahomes, got you there. Hill got you there. Kelsey got you there. Of course, you start them. Butker again. Defense, but you're also Bell. Let's talk about Bell real quick. Okay, now there is a lot of like whenever I do a lot of research and everything like that, and everything is saying that Bell's going to be mediocre, right? I'm thinking the different. Again, I told you about the dome thing. Also, it's because of the fact that. It's his show. He's starting off. This is what he came to Kansas City for. He now I know before few weeks ago he had the show to himself. He didn't do too well. As odd as it sounds, I think it was against a little bit of a different defense. Also, Kansas City is in a different situation now. They've already clinched the playoffs, so they're going for seeding now. But one thing they're not going to do is they're not going to put their star players in danger. So what they're going to do is they're going to ride Bell because they know that Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to be back. So I think it's going to be a big Bell game, where they're going to get ahead a little bit, or they're going to get ahead, and then like probably the second half, you're going to start seeing Bell go in there. So or really explode. I think he's going to be involved the whole game, but I think it's going to be a good game for him. So I would ceasefire on Hardman, even though Atlanta gives up the most fantasy football fantasy points to wide receivers. I would still sit Hardman for the reason I just told you. Is I really think that towards the end, like probably at least half the game, hopefully, Lord willing, that half the game will be the Bell show, and that of course would limit Hardman there. All right, and on Atlanta. I would go and shoot on Matt Ryan. I would shoot on Ridley, and also I would shoot on Koo, Ito Smith. Because Kansas City has a little bit of time on defending running backs, and it looks like Ito Smith's the man. So go for that dude if you're feeling it. I mean, I hope you don't have to, but if you're in the lower brackets, maybe you're just whatever. Or keep him away from somebody that might have had somebody that went on IR or whatever. Anyway, so I would also shoot on Russell Gage. Yeah, Kansas City, man, they give up the second most fantasy football points to the slot. Okay, that's where he plays. So that might be actually a good sneaky pick if you need to pick up. Let's say if you have Keenan Allen, and Keenan Allen's questionable right now, and so you're like, well, what I need to do is might want to think about picking him up. And I would ceasefire on. Oh yeah, I think I did say Koo. Did say shoot on Koo, but ceasefire on Hayden Hurst. And the defense, again, I just don't think that this is going to be a good game for Atlanta. I think it's going to be a Kansas City game. It's they're at home. It just seems that way to me. So, and of course, who's going to win? I think if Connor was here and he was feeling frothy about the spread, he would tell you about the spread. I don't feel frothy about the spread, so I'll just tell you that. Of course, I think that Kansas City is going to win if that means anything to you. All right, so moving on to the next one. Moving on. All right. So Cleveland versus the New York Jets. Now this one's going to be kind of easy to go ahead and go through. But there is something that I did want to go and talk to you about. Let me go and get the easy ones out of the way. The Jets, don't start anybody, sit everyone. Meet, nice and easy. Out the door. Even Jamison Crowder. I love Jamison Crowder, but man, come on, dude. I mean, this would be the championship game or the last game, and this is one thing I've been telling my friends that have been asking me about, like start sit questions throughout the week, is like, dude, look, this is the last game of the year. Okay, so this is the one where like all the previous games, like if you made any mistakes, you're able to rectify it the next game, or it just didn't sting as long because you had another game, and if you win, the deodorant for winning, conquers all, and all that nice stuff, right? Not this one. If you make whatever mistake that you make, it's with you. I mean, it's your mistake until the next season. So it kind of goes down to like who you want to win with, or like say like, man, I'd rather lose with so and so in my lineup than them on your bench, type of thing. So Jamison Crowder, I'd rather lose with him on the bench, okay, than him in my lineup. But let's go ahead and go to Cleveland. So you would shoot on Jarvis Landry. I think he's going to have a fantastic week this week. Same thing with Austin Hooper. Okay, Baker Mayfield seems to be coming on, so I would go ahead and shoot on him. So if you're in a weird situation where you need a quarterback, that might be a good one there. And then also the defense I would shoot on. The two that are the obvious that everybody normally starts off with: Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. Yes, of course you start them. They're the people that got you there. You dance with who brought you there type thing. Especially in the last game. Again, you'd rather lose with them on your roster than them in your bench. However, I would say be very nervous. Just temper your expectations. New York Jets have been very good against the run. I think they've only allowed like one running touchdown like in the past 2 or 3 games. So that might limit the ceiling of those two guys. So. And for some reason, if the doc was here, we'd be doing the yakety sax, music, but Gase, he wants to win for some reason. I don't know, but whatever, man. Let you do you, man. You be Gase, you be the man. You do your thing, and but that's what he does. And so I would go ahead and I would. He's going to try real hard, so watch out for Chubb and Hunt. Hunt specifically, if you have something better, like if you're trying to go between like Dobbins and Hunt or something like that, I would go Dobbins, something like that. So keep that in mind. I would ceasefire on Rashard Higgins and also the kicker, for Cleveland. So that's how I would do there. And of course, it seems like Cleveland's going to win, but who knows with the Jets, man. But I really don't know if winning. I mean, we really like to showcase it, to be honest with you, with Connor around, because Connor's really good at guessing those things, and it's kind of like I think it's kind of one of the things that I like people to see, how good Connor is at guessing these things. So that's why I asked. But I know you don't really care one way or the other, fantasy football. If you're doing betting, I don't know if you would be turning whatever. Okay, anyway, moving on. All right, so we go to Indianapolis at Pittsburgh. Now, this one right here, dude, I'm real excited to talk to you guys about, all right, because I have a little bit of a different opinion than a lot of everybody, well, actually, than everybody that I've been reading and everybody I've been listening to. So let me just go and talk to you a little bit. Another one of those things I was telling you about. Dome team in going to an outdoor team that's cold. Same thing with Atlanta and Kansas City. Here we go again with Indianapolis and Pittsburgh. But now we have I take on Doc's really cool because he looks at the stats and everything like that. Connor looks at the stats, of course, but he also goes a little bit by emotion. I'm lean more kind towards emotions, so I do use a little stats, of course, because if you've already noticed that, but I do lean a little bit emotionally. So with the dome thing, then also you're talking about Pittsburgh, who just lost to Cincinnati on Monday night, which is an embarrassing loss. So you got that. Okay, they're going to be at home. Okay, the dome is going to, and then also this is a chance for them to win the AFC North title at home. Okay, so they're going to be really pushing hard on this. So I really think, and again, this goes by the feeling thing, that we've all been watching football for years, dude. So I think we can all agree that if we really are honest with ourselves, we'll agree that there's a better than average chance that Phillip Rivers is not going to do like he's been the past month, because right now he's on a hot streak, one of the hottest quarterbacks out there, not throwing the interceptions, all this stuff, right? Well, usually what happens whenever he gets to that point, he starts, smelling his farts a little bit, and so kind of relaxes, and then that's whenever the defense are able to jump on him. And Pittsburgh is not really a defense to do that against, so I really think that it's going to be a big game for Pittsburgh. So I wanted to go ahead and make sure and throw all that stuff out there. These are things that people aren't talking about that I thought would be kind of neat. So I would say that on Pittsburgh, let's go and shoot on. I would shoot on Big Ben, Deontay Johnson. Connor, I would shoot on James Conner. The defense, of course, like I told you about. And also Juju. I know Juju was uninspiring last game, but I think he's going to bounce back. One of those things where I'm not sure if Juju is bad enough to be that bad twice in a row. And then Then we have who you were going to cease fire on, which would be Claypool. I like Claypool. I think he's going to have a good game. However, on the championship game, he's a little nervy. He's a rookie. Makes me nervous. Ebron, I don't know. I'm not even sure if he's playing. And, of course, the kicker. Okay, that's all ceasefires. Now, on Indianapolis, fire or shoot on, I would shoot on Taylor because, um, dude, he's guaranteed touches and he's hard to stop. Pittsburgh, if there's anybody going to stop them, it would be Pittsburgh. So but we'll see what happens there. And of course, Rodrigo Blankenship, you don't ever sit that guy. He's awesome. What a find. And then everybody else though, I would cease fire on Ty. I would cease fire on Pittman. I would cease fire on the tight ends. I would cease fire on Rivers. Oh, I would fire on the defense for Indianapolis because they are pretty good, and Ben has been kind of weird, so meaning throwing like a turnover prone. And so anyway, so yeah, so that's basically who I would go ahead and cease fire on. And see here, okay, then let's go ahead for Indianapolis. So just make sure and keep an eye on that. 'Cause this is one of the ones I'm going against the grain. Okay, I'm thinking that Pittsburgh's going to do really well, and mainly specifically Philip Rivers is not going to do well. Moving on. Okay, we have Chicago against Jacksonville. All right, all right, all right, all right. So this one's an interesting game, mainly because Mr. James Robinson, at first, you start off, you've got the high ankle sprain. You don't know if he's going to play, but now he's like, I want to play. And so now they're saying it's game time decision. I think that might be just gamesmanship on the coach. They're not going to play James Robinson. He's the future, man. They're going to try to team him up with a good quarterback and get that offense started that way. They have DJ Shark. You want to keep him healthy. You want to keep Robinson healthy, and also pick up your quarterback in the future in the draft. So I think that's their that approach. So I think it's going to be some sort of committee thing between Dare and Divine, and it's not going to be a Divine committee. So I would just stay away from the running backs. In fact, I would stay away from Jacksonville offense the holes. I would cease fire on everything in Jacksonville, and I would, of course, not shoot on anything. And also, one of the things I thought was kind of an interesting thing to back up about DJ, if you're still a Shark believer, which he's still a really talented guy. However, the Chicago defense, they allow the fourth fewest fantasy football points to wide receivers. So yeah, no, okay, I wouldn't want to do that. But let's go ahead and talk about Chicago. I would go ahead and shoot on Allen Robinson. I would shoot on David Montgomery, or how Connor says it, David Montgomery. Because dude, that's a weak run defense on Jacksonville. So it's setting up nice for Demont. So if you have him, I think the last game that you get to play him is going to be a good one. I would shoot on the defense. Jimmy Graham. I would go and shoot on him. He's always getting red zone looks, end zone looks, I should say. Red zone, but end zone, so I think that he's going to do well. Trubisky. I would definitely check this out. Check the stat out. Okay, I would go ahead and fire on Trubisky, and this is the reason why. Jacksonville's defense, they have given up the most touchdowns, the highest yard per average, and the second most fantasy football points to quarterbacks in the season. Okay, so with that information, yeah, I think I'll go with Trubisky. So we'll go with that's here. I think so. Yeah, we got everybody there. So let's go ahead and move on. Moving on to the next one. We're just pumping through here, dude. All right, now this one is interesting. This one's interesting. Not the New York Jets at Baltimore. Okay, and the reason why is because I'm having to choose between Bell and Dobbins. All right, and I chose to start Bell because of his opportunity, because of what I told you about the dome. Blah, 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 reverse it back a few minutes if you're curious as to why I would start Bell. But Dobbins, he's been dominating the backfield, but the thing that I'm concerned about with choosing between those two guys is that Dobbins, I think, is going to do really well, or I think he's going to do good enough, but I think he's probably going to score maybe one touchdown. I think that's all he can get, and the reason why I say that is because I think Gus Edwards and Lamar Jackson being there, I think that's going to cause an issue, okay? And so because of that, like he's not going to be the main guy that would be going to get those touchdowns. Over under touchdowns one, So 1.5, I would go the under. So yeah, there we go on that. Also, one thing needs to be mentioned that nobody's talking about, seems to be like overlooking, is dude. I mean, I would say that Chubb and Hunt are better than Dobbins and Edwards. I think everybody would agree with me on that. Anybody that's got through this point that's sober right now, I think that you guys would agree with me on that. And what did New York Giants do to Cleveland in our league? Chubb got 13 points. Hunt got 4. So it makes me really nervous. Championship game, and that's why I'm going with Bell also for another reason there. Okay, but the point I'm making is that the New York Giants defense I think is doing a lot better than people think. But that would be one of the people that I would one of the things I would shoot on would be the defense and also Gallman because of his guaranteed volume. But then, of course, I would cease firing to everyone else. I just don't want to go against that defense with Ingram and Slayton and Shepard and all. Don't do that to yourself. Hopefully, there's something better out there for you. And so with Baltimore, I would shoot on Mark Andrews, okay, because I believe that Hollywood Brown is out. So he's going to be basically the main thing, and if he's not, he's going to be limited. So I wouldn't trust him, Hollywood Brown. So he's a ceasefire, but we'll leave that there. We'll get to that in a second. Dobbins, I would shoot on. Edwards, I would shoot on. The defense, I would shoot on. Tucker, I would shoot on, and that would be it. Ceasefire. All right, ceasefire. You heard. What did I not say? Who did I not say? Who did I normally say? Who would you normally say on Baltimore that I did not say in the championship game? Who might have got you there? That's right, Lamar Jackson. I would not shoot on Lamar Jackson. That guy's I just don't trust it against New York Giants. I just think it's a trap. Of course, I said the last game was going to be a trap, and it wasn't. But I think this one's going to be emotion. Yeah, I think that's going to be so. So I would not do Lamar Jackson. So keep that, guys, in mind. I think that, yeah, Lamar Jackson and Hollywood Brown and basically any of the wide receivers, I would not, I would cease fire on. So I believe that would be there. And just because I'm feeling a little frothy, dude, let's just say it. Let's say the Giants win it. How about that? How about the Giants winning, beating Baltimore in Baltimore? That'd be crazy, wouldn't it? Yeah. Let's go with it. Yeah, it feels good. Let's do it. A little dirty, but good. Let's do it. Let's do it. What do you think? Okay, let's do it. Okay. Giants are going to beat Baltimore. Okay, all right. So moving on. Cincinnati versus Houston. All right, my hometown, Houston. Yeah. H-Town. This one is an interesting one, okay? Because both these guys are out of the playoffs. So, what are you playing for other than draft? But I'm not sure if Texans have a draft this year, but whatever. Point is that they're not really putting it, you would think they're not really putting it all in there. I don't think that's correct. I think that Houston, let me go and start there, the hometown. I think that they're going to play really well. I think Deshaun Watson likes to win and he wants to win. So I think I would shoot on Deshaun Watson. I would shoot on Brandon Cooks. And here's one thing is about QT. I would cease fire on QT. I had him originally on my shoots area, but I heard some information that, or I read some information. Of course, it's probably about a day or two old now, but whatever. Point is, so I read it before the show, is that QT might be limited. Yeah, he might not be doing too well. So that might open up a little bit of a little bop action with Chad Hansen. No, you don't want to hear that. But yeah, so Chad Hansen actually might be a thing because Cincinnati's defense isn't that good. However, I think what Deshaun Watson's going to be thrown to the most is going to be the next person I would shoot on, which would be David Johnson. So I think it'll be David Johnson and some sort of Cooks and Johnsons who they're going to go with. I know of late Cincinnati has been pretty good against the run defense, but I remember, at least that they've shown cracks where you could actually gain a lot of, fantasy football running backs have been able to gain a lot of points on them. So David Johnson is worth him if he's there. But again, they're not playing for much, so I don't know how high that ceiling's going to be. And he also has that. Now he seems to be injury prone, so watch out for that. I think Duke Johnson's coming back too. So just keep all those things in mind whenever you're making that decision as far as either or. But for the reason of this conversation, of this podcast, it's just to tell you that people that are startable, okay? Now, as far as your particular situation, use your, better judgment between the two. Like I was telling you about Bell and Dobbins, go go with what you trust. Go with your gut because this is the last game of the year and you're going to be living with it, right? So I'd rather you go with what you feel. Take what I'm giving you as information, okay, and help digest. But go with whatever you're feeling because your feeling got you to where you're at. So go for it, man. All right. Okay. So I would see. Oh, also Fairburn. I would go ahead and shoot on Fairburn. I would ceasefire on the defense and also the tight ends. I just don't trust the tight ends for Houston and all the other wide receivers. That other than the Cooks and Mbop. All right, Cincinnati. Who do we shoot on? We shoot on Giovanni. Yeah, because Houston, have allowed the second most fantasy football points to running backs. So, of course, you put in Giovanni. You saw what Giovanni did to Pittsburgh. But I really think that the whole Pittsburgh thing was not because Pittsburgh's bad and Cincinnati's good. I think it's because Ben kept on turning over the ball and tiring out the defense, because they're only human after all, or they should be. T. Higgins, I would go ahead and I would definitely fire on shoot on T. Higgins, especially since Tyler Boyd's going to be out with a concussion, so it might be the T. Higgins show. Don't overthink yourself. Okay, don't you go down to Drew Sample. All right, don't be like, there's no time. No. Stop. Okay, just do T. Higgins. Okay, all right. It's the only receiver that you want to start with that. Okay, don't get cute. Don't get cute. Okay, and some information just came in, but whatever. We'll keep going. So we'll go ahead and cease fire on the defense for Cincinnati. We'll cease fire on whatever QB that's going to be, and then also everyone else. Yeah, everybody else, So there you go. Okay, so basically with Cincinnati, Giovanni, T. Higgins, and I think the kicker. I don't know what happened to Randy. I need to look into that. But yeah, I like. They seem to be doing really well with kicking, and this looks like a kicking game, to be honest with you. So and they're in Houston. It's a dome atmosphere, so I think they'll be fine. You might be good there. All right, moving on to there you go. I'm sorry, man. It's backwards. So yeah, my second team that I love. Because I love the Texans first now that they got rid of Bill O'Brien. But I love Denver. Denver's such a wonderful city. So oh, I did it again. Anyway, Denver against Los Angeles in Los Angeles. All right. So who do we shoot on here? Let's talk about Denver real fast. I would go ahead and shoot on Tim Patrick. Noah Fant. I think Noah Fant's going to be ready to go, and he showed that he's ready to go last week. He did a really good job. Melvin Gordon revenge game dos partout. So hopefully he'll actually come and do a revenge game because I remember whenever if you guys have been an OG of the show, you'll remember that when we were doing the draft thing, that Gordon was a favorite of our show to draft, mainly because he specifically said he wanted to sign with Denver because of the 2 games against the Chargers. Now I know the first game didn't really show that, but this game I think he will, especially since he really had a great game in the past 2 or 3 games. The past 3 games he's had good games, at least 2 really good games. Easy for me to say. All right, and also McManus. Go straight into that. That's funny. But yeah, I love our nickname for him, Magnus. So I was like saying it, so that's kind of rolls into it. But he's a good kicker, and it might be a kicking game. Who do we cease fire on Denver? Lindsey. Yeah, because I think it's gonna be a Gordon game. Judy, yeah, it's Jerry Judy. I think he's gonna be awesome next year. But this year, I think this game is gonna be Noah Fant and Tim Patrick. And the defense, I would cease fire on the defense against the professional segue to who I would shoot on, which is the Chargers. That's why I would cease fire on Denver because the very number one I would shoot on for Los Angeles Chargers is Herbert. Yeah, dude, Herbert. I think he's gonna do really well. He did okay. He did pretty well against Denver. I think he in our league, he scored. I think in like mid 20, little between the lower 20s to mid 20s, which is really good. What you're hoping for in a game or in the championship game, it's not gonna hurt you. So I would go ahead but I would temper my expectations because Hunter Henry got the COVID. Yeah, he was out for the week, couple of days of the week, not practicing for an illness. But it looks like he actually might have COVID, so he might be done for the season. Well, he's definitely done for our fantasy season, considering that this is the last game he's not going to be playing in it. But that does open that up for me. I mean, I was already going to fire on or shoot on Austin Eckler, but now I think I'm really going to do that now because I think he's going to get a lot of those short passes that Hunter Henry was getting. So, and also another one of those things which I feel is that Austin Eckler didn't do real well last week, but I think he's too good of a player to do bad 2 weeks in a row, especially in a situation like this. So I think he's going to do really really well. Also, here's a new one I don't think I've ever said to shoot on, but I will this time, which is Jalen Guyton. Yeah, he's the wide receiver that really shined whenever last game, whenever Keenan Allen and was limited. Same with Williams being limited. And guess what? They're both questionable for this game. So yeah, Jalen Guyton is a guy that I would go. I would definitely shoot on. Then also let's see here too. Ceasefire on the defense. I would ceasefire on any other running backs. Okay, so don't get cute with Justin Jackson or Balaj. Oh man, I've gotten to the point I hate that guy. I'm an Austin Eckler manager, and so I hate Balaj, Garbalage, I guess that's his nickname. And then any of the wide receivers other than Guyton and kicker, yeah, Bagley, dude, he missed. I don't know, dude. He might be in his own head right now. I don't know. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. The next one is let's see here. Okay, yeah. Next one is Carolina at Washington. All right, so what WTF? Yeah, that's what we call them around here. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about just Carolina real quick. Okay, so who would we shoot on with those guys? Okay, we'll shoot on with Mike Davis because unfortunately, that's it, man. McCaffrey, kind of borderline bust, but when he was in there, he really did well for you. So that's why you can't really say he's a bust, but he's not going to be there for you the championship game, which you really need him. So that's unfortunate. I would now when you look at the wide receivers, you're really kind of shooting. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Samuel here in a second, but you're really like trying to pick between Anderson and DJ Moore. Again, same thing. Moore had a bad game. I think Moore's going to, or I think Moore's going to do really well in this game. Okay, I think that's the guy that I would take a chance on if I had to. And of course, Joey Sly. I think he's going to do really well for you guys. Now let's go to the who sees fire on. Okay, so sees fire on the defense, sees fire on Bridgewater. Okay, because I don't trust that Washington defense at home. That front line is no joke. And but here we go, man. Curtis Samuel. Check this out. Curtis Samuel. WTF defense? They have allowed the second fewest fantasy football points to the slot, and that's where that guy normally lives. So that's one of the reasons why I would cease fire on Samuels. Also, the volatility against Washington, I think, only allows for one wide receiver at most to really blow up. So I think that's going to be the DJ Moore is the one I'm taking a shot on. So, but it really is shit stick. It's again, go with who got you there. Go with what you're feeling. Go what you think. You'll be happy with your decision, or hopefully you'll be happy with your decision. All right. Okay, let's go to Washington. Washington. All right. So, how about this? Antonio Gibson, guys. Antonio Gibson has been practicing, limited practice all week, and so he might play. He might play. So if he does, I would definitely go ahead and shit on him, considering how weak Carolina is against the run. J.D. McKissick. Okay, check this out. McLaurin is hurt. Okay, McLaurin's not going to be playing. So because McLaurin's not going to be playing, somebody's going to have to be stepping up. And what's been happening is that it's been both McKissick and also the next one I would definitely shoot on, which is Logan Thomas. Okay, so and Alex Smith, because Alex Smith has been limited, but now he's in full, and that's another thing that strengthens my resolve on McKissick and Logan Thomas, is because before he got hurt, he was throwing to McKissick and Thomas a lot. Okay, so he'll be back, and so I think that's, and they're still in the playoff hunt. I think they're actually leading right now, so they want to hold on their spot. So I think Logan Thomas is in line, and McKissick for a really good game. Gibson might be a little limited. That's one reason why I'm not including him in that sentence. Okay, who am I going to sit on the Washington? Wide receivers. Yeah, I would definitely shoot on or ceasefire on the wide receivers, because I'm not exactly sure which one's going to be, and the kicker. Yeah, it's going to do that. It's going to do that. So that way, let's see. Yeah, the wide receivers are alone in the ceasefire category. Okay, all right. Moving on. All right, to Pitts. We have Philadelphia at Dallas. Now this one is really exciting because of the blow up. The QB, man, Jalen Hurts, man. He had an incredible week last week. But I'm thinking, you okay. If you're in a situation, okay, where you need to run it, you need a quarterback, okay, then Hurts is a good one. But if you don't have anybody named Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes, Herbert, Aaron Rodgers, Allen. Yeah, I mean, all these guys are ones that I would definitely start over, especially because these guys they have a history. All right, Jalen Hurts might be like, oh my gosh, this might be Herbert. If you remember when Herbert first went in, he blew it up, and then he just kept blowing it up, and everybody was all excited about it, right? Waiting for that shoe to drop, which didn't drop for months later, right? Or it could be like Tua, which Tua did all right, but he did okay. He did okay, all right. And so he didn't hurt you too bad. And so Hurts is probably he's either going to be either like Herbert, or he's going to be somewhere between those two guys. I know, big revelation, but the thing is that now teams are starting to get information on Hurts. Okay, this is the thing that makes me nervous about him, is that teams are starting to get information on him, so they're going to know how to play him. Because before it's just been Carson Wentz the whole time, didn't know what Hurts' tendencies were, who he throws to, when he runs, if he doesn't run, because Wentz would wait forever before he took off, so the defenses weren't prepared for a guy that ran. So I think they're going to be in a situation where Dallas is also in a fight for the playoffs still, so they're going to be at home. We're based here in Houston, so I have a lot of friends that are Dallas fans. I am not a Dallas fan, but I have a lot of friends that are, and here in Houston and also in Dallas, and so I know how these guys are, as far as how they play, because I hear it from their fans all the time. That big games like this, I really feel like Dallas is coming to play. The past 2 weeks, the defense has done really well. Dallas's defense has, and I really think they're gonna shut down Hurts, and they're gonna figure out what's gonna happen. Plus, dude, come on, man. The name is right there. Jalen Hurts. I mean, you don't want to hurt you. Oh, Joe Burrow's another awesome quarterback, rookie quarterback that was really well. I didn't want to forget about him because I was thinking about the donkey there. But no, Hurts. Yeah. So I wouldn't want to start him. I wouldn't want to start him. I wouldn't feel comfortable in the championship game because there's not enough information. There's enough information on those other guys. Now, if you have somebody like Big Ben, I'd start him over Big Ben. I would have started him over Kirk Cousins or Drew Brees. I don't know how that's going to work out, but we'll see. Tom Brady, how about that? Let's bring up that name. I think Tom Brady I would start over Hurts. So these are guys that I'm just trying to pull off the top of my head. As far as who I would start. Hurts over and who I would start over Hurts, because people are just too excited. They're just too excited, and I'm not exactly sure if it was the fact that there wasn't that much game tape on Hurts, and also that maybe Arizona's defense isn't as good as people think. So we're gonna find that out this week. Probably no, today. Yeah, because at 3:30, San Francisco and Arizona play today. Okay, and so I would go ahead and there we go with Hurts. Ertz, check this out. I would go ahead and I would shoot on Ertz, and I would cease fire on Dallas Goedert. And the reason why, even though Goedert had the most targets and all that stuff, whenever I watched that game, they had Goedert in there a lot of the time to block for Hurts. And for Hurts, you blocked for Jalen. So then the only guy that was open, or the tight end that was open, was Ertz. He was the one that was feasting. So Goddard is volatile to me right now in the championship. So I'm sitting him, but I have Logan Thomas, so I think I'm able to. But if you're not able to, Dallas Goedert, just a little nervy. Okay, and Rager, of course, you would start Rager, and Miles Sanders, you would shoot on him. Ceasefire, Dallas Goddard already talked about the defense. I would ceasefire on Jeffries. I would ceasefire on and Fulgham. That guy, poor thing. He was beautiful for like a week or two, but there you go. I mean, at least he had those that time. We'll always have pairs. So Dallas. Who would I shoot on Dallas? Michael Gallup. Yeah, I've not been a Michael Gallup fan, but listen to this. Philadelphia has the defense has allowed the most fantasy football points to his side of the field. So that's somebody that I would definitely go ahead and he was actually starting to catch fire before he went out, but I think he's okay now. He is okay. He's gonna be starting. Now, this one I have like Zeke Pollard, okay, because I don't know who's gonna start. If Zeke starts, then you start Zeke. If Zeke doesn't start, you start Pollard. Okay, there you go. And if Zeke starts, sit Pollard. Ceasefire on Pollard. Schultz. I think it's gonna be a Schultz game. I know nothing. I think he's gonna do something this week. Yeah, I think Schultz is gonna have a big week this week. Amari Cooper, I think he's gonna do really well. I think Lamb's gonna do well, and I think Zerline. So I think you can see how I'm talking about as far as I think that Dallas is gonna have a good game this week. Who would I ceasefire on with Dallas? Oddly enough, the defense, because I'm still worried about Hurts taking off. This is a championship game. Hopefully, you have a better option than that. But if not, they have been scoring double digits the past month, so something to keep in mind. All right, moving on. Let's go to the Rams versus Seattle. Oh man, you smell that? Can you smell that cooking? Neither can Seattle fans. Nope, 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 nope. The Russell's no longer cooking right now. He's limited. Yeah, he's burning the butter. Poor guy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So they've actually what they've done is that they put the reins back on him, and I think it might be for maybe it might be for something where they're saving for the playoffs. I don't know, but he's not throwing as much, and they're becoming more run heavy. So that's hurting Russell. So, but he's still it's Russell Wilson championship game. You start him. You shoot on him. And same thing with DK Metcalf and Lockett, but those two guys fall under the same thing as Russell Wilson, which is watch out for the fact that they changed from running or from passing to run, and of course, logic dictates who would I shoot on next? Chris Carson, of course. Yes, I would go ahead and shoot on him, and also the kicker. I would go ahead and so Jason Myers, I believe. Yeah, that's who I would go ahead and shoot on. So who would I ceasefire on with Seattle? Defense. Yeah, we'll talk about that here in a second, in a little bit more detail. But defense and now here's something about Russell Wilson though. Okay, because there is an argument, there's a pathway to sit him. So you know what? How about this? I would start Jalen Hurts over Russell Wilson. There you go. How about that? That's something we didn't cover, so I didn't mention. So because the Rams defense have allowed the fewest fantasy football points to quarterbacks. Okay, and this is the championship. Russell Wilson's on his way down. A little nervy. So if you have a better idea, I mean, again, these are people that got you there. So it's difficult to sit them on the championship game. But these are something to keep in mind. Tight ends. I would go ahead and ceasefire on the tight ends for Seattle. Now, Rams. Okay, let's go and do the Rams. Who do we shoot on here? You're in, okay. Everybody knows by now. Seattle's. What are they weak on? They're weak on the pass. Okay, who does well when there's a weak pass? Goff does. Okay, so Goff is. I would shoot on Goff. I would shoot on Robert Woods, and I would shoot on Cooper Kupp. Okay, and now you look at the running back situation. Of course, everybody knows about Akers is out now. So between the two, Malcolm Brown or Henderson, I think Brown's okay. I think he's healed, but still, I would go with Henderson, Darrell Henderson. He seems to be the more explosive than Brown, so I would go ahead and fire on him, shoot on him. The defense, I would definitely shoot on the defense here for the Rams, and also Matt Gay. Yeah, he's a show favorite. Anytime he's in whoever's lineup he's in, I think that guy's a great kicker. I like Matt Gay. And then the Rams. Okay, the Rams. Who would you go ahead and ceasefire on? Would be the tight ends. Okay, because I don't know which one's gonna get it. Somebody's gonna get it, just don't know which one. And of course, Malcolm Brown. All right, moving on, dude. We are just flying through this. Okay, and then because I have two more games, I think. Yeah, the last game on Sunday is Tennessee versus the Green Bay. This is one I wanted to go and talk about also because it looks like it's going to be a weather game. It's going to be a snow game, and when it's snow, what does well in the snow? Derrick Henry, right? So I think let's go and start with Tennessee. I would start on Derrick Henry. Yeah, or I would shoot on Derrick Henry. I would shoot on Corey Davis. Now, AJ Brown, you can shoot on him. You can definitely shoot on him because you just don't know. Yeah, I mean, he's got you there. Okay, he's a big receiver. He's the wide receiver one. It's difficult to go ahead and sit that guy. So I could see a pathway to shooting on him. There's also a pathway to cease firing on him because of the fact of the snow and that they might because of Derrick Henry might be the man the whole time. But so just keep that in mind. But if you have them, I'm sure you don't have any better options. So I would go ahead and I would shoot on him. So ceasefire. I would ceasefire on the defense. I would ceasefire on Goskowski, poor guy, and then also Ryan Tannehill. I would ceasefire on Ryan Tannehill. I'm not sure he's gonna have that good of a game, dude. That it's gonna be cold and snowy. Okay, and that is just going to be a Derrick Henry game, I think, because Green Bay's defense, their run defense, as everybody knows, is terrible, and I think that's where they're going to go with. So, and Lord willing, that's what happens because I'm a Derrick Henry manager in the championship game. So, Lord willing, that's what happens. But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, it might be a little bit of wishing there, a little bit of wishing, but there is logic that backs behind what I'm saying. Okay, now let's go to Green Bay. Who do you shoot on? Of course, Rodgers. You're gonna shoot on Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Jones, especially since Jamal Williams is hurt. He's doubtful for the quad, so it might just be Jones again. So Aaron Jones managers can relax. And also Tonka, little Tanyan. I think Tanyan's going to be a good play. Same thing with Devonte Adams. He's a must start. Always just forget it. Lazard. I think Lazard's going to do really really well. I think he's gonna have a good game. Because remember, one thing that Aaron Rodgers loves to do when he gets down to the goal line is pass it. Okay, so these are all guys I'm telling you that I think they have a chance of catching a touchdown. And so if they're in a situation where you know they're trading punches back and forth. These receivers I think are going to do really really well. Who would I cease fire on? I would cease fire on the defense. I would cease fire on Mason Crosby, and of course Jamal Williams because if he's hurt or limited, you don't want him. All right, last one. This is the last shoot or cease fire of the season right here. This is it. Done. It's over till next year. Okay, Monday night, Buffalo Bills versus New England. All right, so let's go and talk about that. I have vested interest because I'm a Stephon Diggs manager. So let's just start there. I would go ahead and shoot on Buffalo. On Buffalo, I would shoot on Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs because now Stephon Gilmore is not going to be there. So that's their number one cornerback. Even if they try to, I'm not sure if New England has enough talent to stop Diggs. But if they do throw too much at Diggs, then that's going to leave Beasley or John Brown if he plays open. So those makes those guys startable too. And also, the defense, Buffalo's defense. I would definitely shoot on the defense. And kicker, I guess if you want to go with Tyler Bass. Tyler Bass hasn't done very well this year, so yeah, I think he's in the top five. So yeah, I think Tyler Bass would be a good shoot, a good start, whatever you want to call it. And of course, the one you always cease fire on with Buffalo. Say it with me if you guys have been listening. Zach Moss and Dingleberry. Yeah, Dingletary. Sorry. Yeah, I'm just Devin Singletary. Yeah. So and of course with New England, yeah, it's easy. Don't start anyone. Sit everyone. Dude, I'm at Jarrett Stidham, Mr. Fast and Furious himself. Might actually be the one that's starting. So, yeah, there we go. So that ends the shoot or cease fire for this season. Yeah, so hopefully it was as exciting for you guys and informative for you guys as it was for us. I had a lot of fun doing it. I'm sure the other guys had a lot of fun doing it. We look forward to the next time that you guys, till next year, so we're able to go ahead and do that and hopefully help you bring you championships. Now, keep in mind, remember, all three of us, the Doc, the Gut, and myself are all in championship games. So, might want to like and subscribe. Listen to what we guys say. We might help you get to where you need to be. So we record this on Saturday, so we're going to try to get it up to you today, or as soon as we can on Saturday, so that you can have this information for Sunday, and for Monday for your championship games. Make sure and like and subscribe, because on Tuesday we're going to be recording Monday. On Monday, we're going to be recording the Blaster Blanks for this past week, which we'll have it available for you for Tuesday morning. So start off your Tuesday right. So make sure to like and subscribe there. Well, and also thanks, the supporters of the show. High Volume Music. Yeah. The Pride of Sunnyside. Sports Host app. Yes, make sure to download both of those guys. You'll be very, very happy that you did. And so this is always where I want to make sure and give you a reminder. It's a year-long show. Okay, so after the fantasy season concludes, which is about to conclude, we'll still be doing shows once a week. Okay, so don't be afraid to like and subscribe, because Lord willing, we'll be here. Okay, he said we're not going to go anywhere. We'll see what happens, but 2020 has been a weird monster. Okay, so we normally do parting shots here, but come on, man. I mean, it's been me the whole time. What parting shot do I need? I just hope the best for you guys. Seriously. Yeah, I really hope the best for your team, and we hope the worst for your enemies. I really, really hope that anybody that's been watching the show, been listening, been taking our advice and everything like that, is in the championship game, and will be this time next week will be a victor and be a championship. So Lord willing, that happens with you guys. So all right, man, we're gonna go and land this plane. So everybody, thank you so much for being here with the Amigo show. And remember, everyone, in fantasy football, as in life, don't dream it, be it. All right, good luck, guys. Have a great week. Good luck on your championships.